lunch, turkey and dressing, potato salad, a little cranberry sauce. So let's discuss weed addiction. I don't under I don't understand why weed addiction is such a controversial topic. Why it's debated. Some say it's addictive. Some say it's not. But people don't debate other things. They don't debate whether food is addictive. You know, which are. They don't debate whether food is addictive, whether corn is, whether gambling, the internet, shopping, of course, alcohol, narcotics. But for whatever reason, weed is this debatable topic that, because so many people find joy in it, but like people find joy in anything else, whether it's, alcohol or porn or these things. I mean, we can say those things relieve stress for people or help them with anxiety. But I don't think weed itself is bad. Just like, I really don't think alcohol itself is bad. Anything in moderation. You just drink every now and then, or drink just to, have a good time with family, friends, significant other, to loosen you up, oil you up. Hold on, I gotta check. I'm on oven duty, per my wife. I think those things can relieve anxiety too. You can say corn. Maybe you gotten off work, had a long day. You don't have a significant other, number wife. Want to relax yourself, go to sleep. Because the act does help you fall asleep. So we can use that same analogy with corn. I feel relieves my stress, helps me sleep, takes the edge off. I just do it every day when I get off work. But I think like with anything, when it becomes a part of your everyday life, and you feel like your day is not complete unless you have it, that sad thing has probably become an issue. And weed is no different. Because when I was smoking, I mean, the threat of not having weed can be just as strong as any other drug. Because I'm going to say maybe with something like crack, I don't know, I haven't smoked crack before. But from what I see on TV and stuff, people usually smoke up what they have. Because I feel like unless you're rich, who just has a closet full of powder, unless you're Scarface. So after you got your last hit, now is the search to find the new stuff. But with weed, I mean, with me personally, that feeling would happen, which probably happened with crack too. You know what I'm saying? That's not. But I would start fearing not having weed when I'm like down to a quarter, down to a dime bag. That's like, ugh. Down to one blunt. I can't even enjoy this blunt because I'm like, I got to get some more. And I'm like, with that kind of behavior, I'm kind of acting like a crackhead. And it's interesting they say about like dopamine release. You know, we feel like that was a dry ass piece of turkey. Is it? I warmed it up a little bit too much. Cause who else likes hot food? I like my. Can you see the steam coming out? I like my food to be hot to the last bite. Nobody in my household, the kids, my wife, they can have lukewarm to cold food, which to me is fucking disgusting. I want it hot to the last bite. But they say the dopamine is not released when we're actually smoking. It's released when we buy it. When we buy our the cigarillos, the papers, whatever we choose to smoke it in. We roll it up, break down a cigar, twist it, lick it, dry it. Dopamine is released in that process. It's not released in the actual partaking of the drug. So I find that interesting because I get it because the relief of having the weed would come once I've got my package, once my dope man leaves the car, and okay, I'm set for the next few days. And the cycle continues. And then people will say, well, I can quit when I want to. I just don't want to quit. I mean, you can quit anything if you want to. You just don't want to quit. Just because, something like alcohol, they say, which people will calmly debate me with alcohol. If I said talk about weed, like, well, alcohol this, alcohol that. Who's like, I'm not talking about alcohol. Obviously, if you watch this channel, not my issue. I'm sure there are channels dedicated for people who have alcohol addictions. Or maybe it's more of a broad topic of just addiction in general. But my addiction, we're going to always talk about weed is going to be the source of this channel because, that's what I was addicted to. And I know there are many people that are as well. And more people are doing it because it's legalized in more places. It's easy to get. We're lonely as ever. Weed is stronger than ever. More potent. Accessible. Why not? But the question is, when it gets to a point where we need it every day, is that an issue? I say yeah. So they'll say, back to my point, with alcohol, that I can quit. You you can quit weed whenever you want to. It's just if you want to. Whereas with alcohol, you can't quit it because your body has become physically dependent on it. But it's still, you still have to choose for, with their logic, that means anybody who's quit alcohol means they've basically said, I want to quit alcohol, and I got to what? Chain myself to the bed because my body is so used to it till I can't survive. I mean, there's a rough period, going through withdrawals, of course, but you can get past that if you want to. If you want to get past the physical pain and you have enough mental strength, enough want, enough desire to not be consumed by that said substance. So even though alcohol or narcotics can be physically addictive, like you still have to want to quit. There's still mental power, just like with weed. But I said before, some don't agree. I think weed is harder to quit than alcohol or narcotics because it's not as bad as those things. So a lot of times we will, feel like no, we might have an issue with weed and say, well, I'm not an alcoholic. I'm not a crackhead. We all need some vice. So what's wrong with it? So we just continue to quit. Continue to smoke. Do we look up and we're old? I mean, and me personally, if I was like at the age of 50 or 60, I guess why would you quit? Life is life isn't over, but I mean, you're not a spring chicken anymore. Because my mom still smokes weed. I don't question her or try to convince her to quit. Because, I mean, she's 70. I mean, she's pretty much set in her ways. What is the purpose? But for young men who are in their teens, in their 20s, in their 30s, I'll go as far as in your 40s, there's still time to accomplish something in life. And maybe you'll have a easier time doing that if you weren't like trying to smoke weed all day. And people say, well, I can live life and accomplish these things and smoke weed all day. And I have 10 grand in the bank and I smoke weed all day. I mean, I ain't saying it's impossible, but I mean, for the average being, I think if you're a person who can't control yourself and is addicted to something, if weed is so non-addictive and so easy to quit, if you are a person who can't quit something that simple, it's hard for me to believe that you have a good track record with consistency in other areas in your life. I mean, you can get by. You can do the bare minimum. You can, exist. But are you living to your full potential? I mean, me wanting hot food for this case, I'll probably ruin this turkey because it has gotten a little lukewarm. I mean, this turkey at this point is dry. Do y'all like whole cranberry sauce or jellied? I personally like jellied. I bought some whole cranberries because they were on sale a couple weeks ago for like 99¢. I said, why not? It's on sale. So, I mean, my wife said we ought to make it with those cranberries. Actually, I didn't realize how nasty a raw cranberry is. It's a raw cranberry, although it's a superfood, an antioxidant. It's quite disgusting in the raw. You cannot eat it without some sugar on it or something. I mean, you can, of course, but they're not tasty. So we got to use, based on what I use these cranberries for. Cranberry sauce, I prefer jellied. Do y'all like potato salad? I'm not the biggest fan, but my wife made it. So I will eat it. I mean, it's not nasty. I just wouldn't order if I was out. I was afraid to quit weed because I thought I would not enjoy food anymore. Because when I would try to quit for like a day or two or three, maybe in a week, I would not want to eat. I had to force myself to eat. And I'm pretty thin. So it's not good for me to go some days and eating like a small amount. I don't gain weight. I don't hold weight. So it wasn't good. But it only, once I quit about it, like only lasted for like a week or two. About the third week, my appetite was back to semi-normal. So don't let that scare you. You will regain your appetite. Okay, the rest of the turkey is kind of dry. I'm full. I just want to talk to you guys about weed addiction while I ate my turkey and dressing, cranberry sauce, potato salad. What do you guys think? Open conversation. Comment below. Till next time, guys, please like, subscribe, share. Most importantly, comment below. And remember, we are all in this together. Peace.